Behind me here is my Home Depot rental trailer, and you'll notice that I said my Home Depot rental trailer, not a Home Depot rental trailer. More on that story later, but I've been working on filling it up with pine needles. I live up in the trees, and as you can see, it's full. Been raking pine needles the last couple of evenings after I get home from work, and then today I've pretty much topped it off. I've been inside of the trailer probably 12 to 15 times, compressing the pine needles just by walking around, and we'll see how much weight that is. I'm going to haul it off to the yard waste recycling facility. And it looks like my resident deer are out here like usual. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. There's always 1 or 2 that are skittish, and they just stand there and stare at me, or lay there and stare at me. £9,940 between the truck and the trailer. Well, based on how much I unloaded, you can see that that's probably about 3 times the volume of the trailer. That's all uncompressed. I'm gonna guess there's probably at least 500 pounds. Pretty big stack. Let's do a quick walk around of the trailer, and I'll show you some of the features about this trailer that make it a lot heavier duty than a typical trailer that you'd buy from a utility trailer dealer. It's got a powder coat finish on it, so it's going to be a lot more durable than paint. And right here, this little pivot joint, that's where a swing up tongue jack goes. And it's got a little reinforcement bar right there. Up front, spare tire holder right there. That goes through 2 of the lug holes on your wheel. Max load of the trailer is 1,750 pounds. The tongue, or A-frame, goes all the way back and provides protection and reinforcement for the fenders. It's pretty common for people that rent trailers to beat them up and bang on them pretty bad and hit stuff and whatnot. And we've got a reinforcement strut right here too. And same thing on the back, reinforcement strut on the sidewall. Comes down here to the fender, and then we have another outrigger here to provide protection for the fender. It's got all LED lighting. A nice big sturdy reinforcement on the back as well. And that little dot there, that's a reflector. These are really nice latches to secure the tailgate. You just spin this nut loose and then it swings out. Just like that. 1 on each side. Mesh ramp gate. It's I think it's about 4 feet tall. The actual gate, ramp, whatever. And the ramp and hinges, they are spring-loaded. There's one of the hinges right there. There's 3 hinges, and the hinge over here below the license plate has a spring on it. Another nice feature about these trailers, which you'd never see in a standard box style utility trailer, is a torsion axle. So a torsion axle is not the same as a leaf spring. It gives a much smoother ride, and it's also essentially an independent suspension. You can see that there's no leaf spring hanging down there. So I'll link in the description below and possibly above a couple of videos that show a better overview of what a torsion axle is. Super heavy duty ribbed siding to make up the sidewalls in the front of the trailer. And you may have noticed before, but there's two bolt heads right there and nuts. Looking inside of the trailer, you can see what those are for. We've got a D-ring. So we have two D-rings across the front, got another one right there, and another one in the back corner. So there's a total of 6 D-rings to tie down any kind of cargo you have. Really well built. This particular trailer is built by a company called Best Trailers. Super nice welds, and they grind everything so there's no jagged edges and whatnot. And then the sidewall is welded a bunch of different places along each of the upright supports. This trailer is about 6 years old. It's actually in pretty good condition. You'll find trailers in varying states of condition when you purchase one from Home Depot. What Home Depot does is they surplus the trailers out of their fleet every 5 years. And this particular company, Best Trailer, they are located in Grass Valley, California. They only build trailers for the rental industry as far as I know. And there's also a flatbed style trailer with open sides with short rails on it that Home Depot surpluses out of their rental fleet. Weight rating on the trailer is 2,999 pounds, and it has a 3,500 pound axle with ST 205 7515 tires. And this one was built in August of 2013. I purchased it when it was about 5 years old, and it's actually in pretty good condition considering it's been in a rental fleet. The floor is not all beat up. It might be depressed down just a little bit because this right here, you can see where that is likely a cross member underneath. It seems. And same thing up front here, I can tell exactly where the cross member is. But the advantage to a torsion axle trailer is it's going to ride a lot smoother when you have light loads in it. With an independent suspension as well, it's not going to bounce as much. I've actually seen lightly loaded or empty utility trailers go over railroad crossings, and they will actually bounce completely up off of the pavement if somebody's going kind of fast. This here, that's where there was another one of the Home Depot tool rental stickers that I took off. You can tell that the paint or powder coat finish has faded over the years. But the powder coat's going to be a whole lot more durable than paint. As you can tell, it's in really good condition finish wise and very little rust for being a 6.5-year-old trailer. One of the first things I did after I purchased it is I repacked the wheel bearings. The wheel bearings were in pretty bad shape. I actually replaced the bearings in all of the races. And the size on it is 5x8. So coming up next, I'll give you some screenshots on my computer of how you can purchase one of these. And to check for availability of trailers for sale, you could go to Home Depot's website and then click on Tool and Truck Rental at the top, and then scroll down and then look over on the left side where it says Used Tools for Sale, and that brings up another screen where you can either select a nearby store or you can type in your zip code or a city and state, and that will bring up a listing of various tools and equipment for sale. Look, there's another one of those orange trailers. Let's go take a peek at it. the one that I have is in much better condition than this one. $1,250, that's a little bit less than what the price is online. But yeah, this one's got a lot more rust. That's what happens when these get used during the winter time. They just get full of rock chips and dings, and then the road de-icer and salt that's used on the roads causes them to rust like that. That wasn't prepped very good when it was powder coated. But overall, this one isn't too terribly bad as far as the condition goes. The spring is broke on the tailgate. One of the trailers that I had a while back, it had the same issue. This spring is actually completely gone off of that tailgate. All the latches are intact. Inside's a little bit more scuffed up than the one that I bought. And just about the first thing a person needs to do when buying one of these trailers is to replace the tires. 2015 January was the build date on this one. But yeah, this side's kind of rusty too, and wheel bearings have been spitting grease. I'm sure the wheel bearings definitely need to be repacked as well. That's the first thing I did with the one that I bought. And it does feel just a little bit loose. Anyway, that's a quick overview of one that I just discovered for sale.